DestinationMarc.
Multiplayer! Video games are fun to play alone. They offer entertainment and relaxation, and you can just kick some ass without a second thought. But you know what can enhance the game's entertainment value? Multiplayer! Wham! Now you've thrown a second player into the mix. Your friend, your sibling, your drunken dad who thinks he's winning because he's looking at your screen, and you're either playing with or against each other. Now hold up. In this video I ain't talking about no karts or parties or bashes or this. Nah. I'm here to talk about cooperative multiplayer. Co-op multiplayer sounds like such a kick-ass concept. You and a friend can team up and take out enemies together, traverse lands together, explore together, and generally kick ass together. Sounds fun, right? You are dead wrong. Co-op multiplayer, in action games and platformers anyway, is like the sketchiest thing ever. To me it's very gimmicky, tacked on without much effort, and never really worked to its full potential. What should feel like a free-roaming experience where you can choose to either split up to cover more ground or stay close to solve puzzles or deal with enemy ambushes is mostly implemented by developers in the form of a muted, controlled, tasteless experience that hinders you more than anything, especially if the level design is mainly conceptualized for one player only to begin with. In short, co-op's annoying. But don't fret, this isn't just me bitching about how much it sucks. This is about us finding a solution as to how to make it better. So, let's go. See, devs like to play co-op really safe. Now I myself am not a game developer, yet, but I can only assume implementing this kind of gameplay can be really tedious and consequential. Getting one character to run around is trouble enough for some devs, but adding in 2, or 3, or 4, and making that shit functional and fun? It's ludicrous. It's enough to fucking melt your face off. So to keep everything nice and contained and safe, they'll usually tether the two players together, sometimes literally. That way in combat scenarios you've got an arena to traverse, but you're still both linked, so it's supposed to make you want to stick close and help each other fight back enemies or whatever. But then comes the issue of exploring. When you've got such a wide open environment to check out, it gets very video gamey and less immersive when you can only go so far from player 1, or towards the boundaries of the screen before the game yanks you back all. It's like watching a barking dog trying to run at you only to nearly choke himself as he's stopped by his chain. For the dog, doesn't that look restricting and annoying? 'Cause it is. You just want to mangle that cat. You know, again, from the dog's perspective, I like cats. Likewise, it feels very restricting when you can't advance further than the other player or than the screen will allow, and you want to check out your surroundings, or at the very least just see what's over there. Tons of games do this, and it's not effective at all at immersing you in this big world and making you want to traverse it with your friend when you can only go a few feet at a time. Another annoying aspect about co-op is friendly fire. Oh god, friendly fire. Now, this is supposed to be co-op, right? Why the hell do certain games give you the option to kill each other? New Super Mario Bros., Mario 3D World. Look, I love Rayman Origins and Legends, but why is this a thing? What does beating the crap out of each other accomplish? Especially when you have that one asshole friend who's like, sure, I'll help you. I think this is what mainly turns me off to co-op. When you're trying to upstage one another and spend more time goofing off rather than progressing, sure, it can be funny for a moment, but it gets extremely unpleasant very fast. This isn't co-op, this isn't working together, it's working against each other. Now this next one I see mainly in Nintendo games, specifically the 3D Mario titles. But in Super Mario Galaxy 2 they decided to implement co-op multiplayer, and I thought that was awesome. Until I saw how they implemented it. This has got to be the biggest slap in the face for player 2s everywhere. How in the diddly gosh darn hell does this equate to fun? Player 2 controls a Luma. A fucking Luma. What do? Sit there and point the remote at the screen and press A a few times. Stop enemies. Pick up star bits. Shoot out star bits. Pick up coins. Is this really the extent of your co-op creativity? Letting the players kill each other or reducing friends to just doing remedial shit for player 1? And again, if you didn't know, I love the Galaxy games, but this isn't co-op either. It's a watered down, lackluster attempt at shoehorning in a multiplayer mode to increase playability, and I don't think it worked. And the sad part is that the upcoming Super Mario Odyssey, a fresh start in implementing some neo-awesome ideas, which, mind you, it is doing that, is also following this gimmick by letting a second player control Cappy. Why? Co-op was planned for 3D Mario games as far back as Super Mario 64, when Miyamoto wanted to have Luigi run around alongside Mario. But due to time constraints and console limitations, they scrapped this concept, and never went back to it. And again, I ask, why? But it's not all doom and gloom in the land of co-op multiplayer. There are a few games I want to highlight that get it down really well. Or not at all. First up is Tak, the Great Juju Challenge. This is a fantastic game with great humor, funny dialogue, nice visuals, and most importantly, a good, concentrated focus on co-op. Now, how they do it is the interesting part. When player 2 enters, it goes into split screen. That's pretty typical, but you're not limited to the other player's position or by how far the game allows you to move. In fact, if it weren't for the co-op based puzzles and obstacles, one player could get through the whole level and reach the end goal before the other. But the puzzles and obstacles that are there that are co-op based are really neat. In fact, you can't even activate certain checkpoints without a team move. It really creates a nice balance between going off on your own to find new areas and teaming up to destroy enemies and find new things to do or new ways to get around with your team moves. Now this feels like a cooperative experience. Sadly though, while playing this game with my mom back in the day, the memory card, it needed to get formatted. LEGO Batman 2 offers some really great things in the co-op department. When player 2 poofs into existence, you start out side by side thinking they're going to tether you or limit you to the screen, which other LEGO games have done in the past, but then... Ooh, look at that! A nice split screen fades into place the moment you travel out of player 1's sight, and it actually moves around depending on your positions. This is a very innovative idea, and it's not distracting, does its job, and offers freedom of movement on both players' parts. Of course, you can still kill each other. Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric. Warning, warning, Sonic opinions incoming. Where I feel most Sonic games fail to deliver a unique experience that made sense to the character, and also provide some great gameplay that balances out combat and speed, Rise of Lyric seemed to be on course for achieving just that. And it would have been magnificent had the game not been rushed and the result become an unplayable piece of shit. The one thing about this game that had me intrigued was the co-op. As a Wii U exclusive, the setup was perfect. One player gets the TV and can switch between characters at the push of a button, while the second player controls another character on the gamepad. And the two can explore away from each other to find new pathways or take out enemies so they won't be a bother, or stick together to fight or use the Enter Beam for team-based obstacles or other context-sensitive events. That sounds awesome, right? Except when you try to stray away from each other... Oh god, this is flat out broken! What was an exceptional idea on paper and almost well implemented resulted in a glitchy disaster. It's like when Tails and Knuckles were blipping it out in Sonic 06, except here you get to feel it firsthand. So with all these variations on cooperative multiplayer, you can see how game developers slowly started to take notice and attempted to make co-op more accessible and less haggly, even though it technically still is. But the dedication to make something great out of multiplayer was always there, usually. So you're probably thinking, yeah, co-op seems really hit and miss, there's no way it can possibly be implemented to its full potential. Enter a way out. Shown off at this year's E3, this was easily the best thing about EA's conference. And let me tell you, EA don't always get the good conferences.
If you guys didn't know, Need for Speed Payback,
2 years ago, we launched Star Wars Battlefront, and we got a lot of feedback. A lot of it positive, and a bunch of it constructive.
This game's all about co-op. One player controls Leo, an inmate who's been in prison for some time, and the other controls Vincent, a newcomer to the prison. The way co-op is done in this game is looking incredible, and it's hitting all the points I've been talking about. You have freedom of movement, so no restrictions. Team-ups are frequent to get past certain obstacles, so you have to work together. Scenarios can be approached in different creative ways. Cutscenes can play for one player while the other can still move around. This is crazy! And it's all because the game is being specifically built around co-op. So all these implementations make perfect sense, and need to be as refined as possible to allow for the best immersive co-op experience. A Way Out is being made by Joseph Fares of Hazelight Studios, known for his other hit co-op game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. And this guy just seems to get it. Don't mind his stuttering.
And, what was I going to say? Yeah, let me tell you. Okay, wait, it's coming to me. Come on.
You can see how passionate he is to bring experiences in multiplayer like there never were before. The innovation, the dedication, the power that these games bring, it's some crazy stuff. It shows just how far co-op can go and how well it can be designed and implemented given the right amount of time, effort, and passion that goes into it. Do more games need to start taking notes? Yes. This is how you do cooperative multiplayer right. No tethers, no restrictions, let the players roam around at their own leisure and team up when they want to or when it's necessary, and for added measure, fuse the gameplay with the story for added immersion. Leo and Vince don't like each other, but due to connections they have to the same conflict, they have to use clever tactics to team up and go their separate ways to navigate through the prison to bust out. And the full game doesn't even take place solely in the prison. They do get up before the game's end, and the narrative completely drives where the characters go and dictates how they get around the world from there on out. It's amazing! But I'm getting a little off topic. Basically, to end on a high note, good co-op can be achieved. I know it's not easy, but with enough time, effort, and drive, you can truly bring players together in these games by offering freedom, a great balance of combat and exploring by means of teaming up or splitting up, no stupid friendly fire competitive dumb bullshit, and giving the second player a role just as important as the first player. Experiment with these ideas, and don't be afraid to innovate. I'm Mark, and I'll see you guys later.